put some metal in your life. Hey, people, I'm here to talk about a current thing going on in metal, heavy metal music. I've always had an interest in metal, and I'm not talking about the fact that us here in Michigan pronounce the word metal as metal, with like a person gets in the army or whatever. But I digress. Covers, excuse me, and I'm not talking about the cover artwork. I'm talking about covers right now, like the fact that they're having a slightly hard time with metal right now. It seems like, if you ask me inside, and maybe they're having a hard time finding new people to be interested, or old people's interest, maybe that is even to say. So they're doing a sort of covers of other people right now, like Lamb of God doing their Burn the Priest stuff right now, where they're doing a bunch of punk rock covers, or maybe it's hardcore and punk rock covers. And then where Devildriver, I just come to find out, is doing an outlaw country type album or something like that. So, covers again. So it's kind of an interesting thing that it's a trend right now. And that's to say within the sort of, I mean, they're the same genre of music. I don't really know what it would be. Metalcore, maybe? New American wave of metal is what they called it. Maybe Chimera and Killswitch Engage and Unearth and people like All That Remains in Them used to fall into that category. But back on the subject, I feel like it's sad to think that it is, from what I hear, kind of a taboo to like metal for young people and stuff. And sorry about the weird camera angle and all that, but just you're gonna have to deal with me right now. I'm charging my thing, and this is just some quick thoughts I wanted to get out. So it's my usual style of freestyle video. It's kind of sad to think that metal, something I was so into as a young lad, isn't got a huge fan base right now, and that kids are almost closeted and like ashamed to be into it, from what I've heard, or something stupid and ridiculous. And so people sort of associate metal with old people at this point, which kind of makes sense when all they do is up the ante on that. This is one of my points right here. When all the people that can get popular are older groups, 10 years have been around and so on, or more, obviously, like Metallica or Ozzy Osbourne, or Megadeth or something, is who people will think of when they think of rock. And I'm not bashing on nobody. I'm not that type of person, but it's just sad when you can't think of a lot of young people, young groups that have come into it. So then young people don't have an interest in the style of music anymore. Hence why their guitar places are going out of business, and guitar companies even, and stuff like that. And you don't hear about kids wanting to get into a band together. And that was always a big thing when I was a lad. So it's kind of a sad thought. It's a sad thought to see these things transition and change. It's kind of like comic books, shops, if you will, seem to be having a little bit of trouble as well. But the cover albums, this is, there's a big problem with this too, because I really have very little interest in punk rock and in outlaw country, or country music, or whatever you want to call it. I got a very little. What's next? Reggae, and then, or are they going to have these lighter groups trying to cover death metal, trying to be a little hardcore? That will have no acceptance, so they won't do that. But it's a tough thing, you know what I'm saying? I just hope to myself that metal can find its fan base again, and so on and so forth, and find a resurgence. But that's going to take young bands, and so we got to focus on younger groups, and people got to just focus on that. I've been enjoying Mastodon, and they're not young by any means, but Tool's got something new coming out. Not young by any means. I mean, these are just like groups I like, I should say, that I'm just bringing up that have new stuff for the most part. I really prefer more death metal, but I'm not gonna even go there because it's very obscure overall. So covers. Sad to hear that the new album from a group you like is a cover album. I hated seeing the Born of Osiris's last album was a cover of their own album, pretty much a remake or whatever the fuck that was about. Really bugged me, bummed me out, and that's just a deathcore, which is just another example. Is the reason I use it. It's just one that came to my mind, and that was a huge letdown. And you got to wait 2 years for another album? Fuck that. I remember Between the Buried and Me a few years back did a cover album. That one wasn't terrible, but haven't been really feeling their music. Okay, people. That's what it seems like, doesn't it? Nah, excuse me. It's not like that. But basically, all I can say is the Inherit the Earth song from Lamb of God. Go check it out. Is out right now. I'll give some promotion to the people. Devildriver will have a new song pretty soon. I'm certain it'll probably be something by like a Willie Nelson type people or something. From what I saw, they're gonna have a whole lot of features on the album. So, who knows? Obviously, I'm not saying. I mean, it'd be awesome if they had him on there, but they got people like Hank the Third and Dino C. Bell, or excuse me, what the fuck? Excuse me, Dino is not. That's Dino Cazares, and he's from Fear Factory. And what I mean to say is Burton C. Bell, and all these other people like that. So, if you like cover albums, check out Devildriver's newest, and if you like them, same thing with Lamb of God, or I don't know if they're going by Burn the Priest, or if that's just the name of the title of the album. But they're going to have some cover albums out both, and give them a check out if you're interested in that kind of thing. Some people like cover songs. Shit, man. So have a good day, folks, and enjoy your 4/18/2018, which is supposed to be the end of the world. It looks like a beautiful sunny day, the first one in a while. They stopped geo-weathering my area. Finally, we get to have some sun instead of this fucking snow we've been having. Peace out, folks. Like and subscribe. Adios.